Doyin Okupe has been attacked by Nigerians over support for President Tinubu. You see, so Doyin Okupe is actually a key member of Labour Party and a supporter of Peter Obi. So now that he's coming out to support Tinubu's proposed plan to invade Niger Republic, is now receiving a lot of backlash, especially from the Labour Party members, why he should say that, because the impact, the consequence will be so much that Nigerians will not be able to bear, in addition to already what is happening in the country right now. So let's see what a few Nigerians are saying about this comment that came from Doyin Okupe. Okay. Labour Party chieftain Doyin Okupe has been criticized online due to his support for President Bola Tinubu's proposed military invasion of the Niger Republic. Niger News earlier reported that following Tinubu's proposed military action and other penalties against the coup plotters in the Niger Republic, Okupe, in a post via Twitter, said there is a need to protect democracy and Nigerians must not be quiet due to internal differences. He noted that irrespective of who the president is, Nigerians and political leaders must unite in defense of the country. However, some netizens perceived to be supporters of Labour Party have frowned over Okupe's call to support Tinubu, and that is actually very bad. Okay, how can you say we must not keep quiet? We already have internal problem in Nigeria that is overwhelming us, and you want to push Nigeria into another war that Nigeria may not be able to survive. What are you talking about, Okupe? So let's see a few attacks that came to him or came against him online. Somebody said, Doyin Okupe, you are such a disappointment to whatever Peter Obi stands for. Hide your empty head in shame forever. That's what somebody has said there. And that person is saying, Doyin Okupe should have just kept quiet. The man who exhibited the highest level of political brigandage cannot be defended under the guise of patriotism. That is truth. These old men will start a war for their selfish interest at the expense of the lives of our youth. Doyin Okupe should look towards avoiding the war than making people lose their lives for an avoidable war. Exactly. Okay, and someone else here is saying, dear Doyin Okupe, following your tweet that Niger rubbish Nigerians, I beg to disagree with you on that because they were specific. If you say they did, I have a realistic question for you. Why didn't they rubbish Ghana, Kenya, Zambia, Benin Republic, Rwanda, or Egypt? Why Nigeria? And that is a very big question. You see, because Nigeria has lost its value anywhere, both internally and externally. Somebody say, I never expected this from Egbon Doyin Okupe. Are you now confused, Abi? That is agbadorized. Another Twitter person wrote, what do you mean? It matters not who is president. It does matter. You should be advising Tinubu, okay, not to declare war against his neighbor. It matters who is president because he is the one with the final decision to declare war. This man, you play too much. Who is coming after Nigeria's sovereignty? Blulaba is the one encroaching the sovereignty of Niger. I beg, if you don't chop, don't be fused at this time. Okay? We have our issues as a country. Nigeria should wait for the repercussion. So you think you can waste the blood of another country's citizen and walk free? People learn when the consequences are severe. And we don't want to get into that situation where the consequences will be overwhelming. So the truth is that almost the whole Nigerians, in fact, almost the whole Nigerians are against Tinubu in this plan. And it is quite obvious that Tinubu's plan is not for the interest of Nigerians. It's selfish interest for him to remain in office, like we said earlier. because he has no business, Nigeria has no business with what is happening in Nigeria. You should look inward. There's no war in a country that's not politically motivated. You should look at the interest. Like other countries, other first world countries cannot invade another country without any political or economic interest. So the question is, what is Nigeria's interest in this war with Niger Republic? Okay, and he should look at the global political undertone in that war. We saw what happened in Libya, okay, and Libya has not been the same today. We saw what happened in Syria and Lebanon. They've never been the same today. So why does Nigeria want to dabble into this war? What is the interest of Nigeria and other first world countries in this Niger issue? Now, if the Western world is calling for Nigeria to intervene as the big brother of West African countries, ECOWAS, and also Tinubu as the chairman of ECOWAS, let Tinubu and his government also look at the political undertone as well. What do we stand to gain? What are the consequences? What will be the economic impact in Nigeria? Do we have the money to embark on a foreign war? Do we have the armament? Do we have the manpower? Do we have everything? How will that war help Nigeria to grow? If there's nothing, nothing. Look, take an example from the war in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia. You see that America has boasted, UK has boasted, they would do this, they would do that. They never sent their own soldiers. Till today, they never sent their own soldiers. That is the truth. They boasted. They even asked the Ukraine president to take asylum in the US. The man refused, because that is not the solution to the problem. Because once he runs out of Ukraine, it means that Russia would have won Ukraine. You see? So I don't understand why African presidents cannot use their brain for once, especially all these old men that want to, legitimize their being in office using any available means. So now there are a few comments here coming against Tinubu for declaring to go to war, and also coming against Ç0ΟΘ1STS for coming out to support Tinubu's proposed plan of invading Niger Republic. And someone is saying Ç0ΟΘ1STS is the like of Keyamo and FFK, sycophants and stomach infrastructure group of company. That is a big one, man. And that might be true. Okay, that might be true. Another person saying, now I know why many people from the obedient lineage have been calling President Tinubu all sorts of names because of his position on the Niger military incursion. However, most of them cannot differentiate the advantages and disadvantages of military and civilian government. We have still not fully recovered from what we experienced from past dictators. I just pray that this trend will not continue, because this social media freedom we have will be taken away immediately while others follow. This guy is just talking about the negative effect of military regime in any country. But if you look at what's happened in Nigeria since return to democracy in 1999 till today, you now see that even the politicians are more corrupt than the military. And that is exactly what is happening in the Niger Republic. That coup did not just come ordinarily. They want freedom. They took the bull by the horn to ensure that they liberate themselves from military dictators, from democratic dictators. Like in Nigeria, we've had Buhari as almost a dictator, even as a democratic president. We are seeing Tinubu just 60 days in office as a democratic dictator, worse than military dictatorship. So what are we talking about? If we are talking about dictatorship, we're even experiencing it under this democratic dispensation than even a military dispensation. We talked about what the kind of embezzlement that took place under Babangida and Abacha and even Abdulsalam Abubakar. Today, with the kind of embezzlement we've seen under democratic rule has even tripled or even quadrupled the kind of embezzlement and corruption that took place under the military. So what are we talking about? Okay. So they have their reason in the Niger Republic to allow that to happen. And they are looking, and I hope that over time they will liberate themselves. So let's not be myopic and say the dictators, because even this Tinubu is going to be worse than a military dictator, even in Nigeria as a Nigerian president. Okay. Someone is saying most of them don't know the difference, my brother. They just want wake up with their phones and begin to post forward. So this one is still supporting that Tinubu should go to war. but going to war will not help us. It will not help us. And somebody say, replying to this commentator, what about institutional coup that your master did? Yes, Tinubu did an institutional coup, and that coup is trying to, subvert the political process, electoral process, and to install himself as president. That's exactly what we did. Yeah? So we really need to be very careful pushing Tinubu into war, because the impact will not be easy in Nigeria. So that is what is coming from Edoyin Okupe, and that's the reaction coming from fellow Nigerians as well, attacking Okupe for supporting Tinubu to go to war in Niger Republic. Let's have your comment and your views for sharing as well.